Woo. Okay, today is the day I've been waiting for so long. Finally installing fender flares on my 2011 STI. So now I've got everything ready to go, so let's just hop right into it. First things first, we gotta add tape to all the panels to make sure we don't scratch anything. So let's go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1. What the? Oh, boom, okay, I got you guys. Don't worry though, the car is still safe. She's here, not clean, but she's safe. Got everything taped up, and now I'm gonna go ahead and measure, and then we're gonna get to cutting right after that. So I brought the cavalry with me today. I got Andrew Randall here with me, and he's gonna help me measure everything so I don't mess up, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and he's done this, so he's gonna be a big help, and we're gonna get this done with him. Heck yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for measurement on this is I'm gonna hold each corner. So we're gonna go corner to corner, make sure that these both line up, and then we'll hold that snug, and then I'll have Andrew come mark. We're gonna mark around all the way, and then we'll mark the holes as well, and then we'll get our second measurement off these marks that we get. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're gonna do the rear. It's literally gonna be the same as before. We're just gonna go corner to corner, just line it up and then mark it. So it should be pretty easy. Okay, so we finished marking up the rest of the panels on the car, and what we did was, so we just ran an outer line around the edge of the fender, around the edge of the fender, and then we also added just the drill marks where we're gonna drill the holes. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and drill and cut to some B-roll in 3, 2, 1, enjoy. Okay, so I just finished drawing up the second line, and what I did was I just went from this top line. So from this top line right here, I went 5/8 below, and I just marked that all the way around. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut just on the bottom side of this line, and I'm gonna cut this one first just to make sure everything fits, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of them, mark them out and cut them all. So let's see what happens. What are you doing? I'm cutting my wheels, man. What am I doing? Okay, so we got the pieces cut off and we got the hole drilled up, and now we're gonna throw some rivets in, which Andrew's got a rivet gun here and screwing that on, and we're just gonna slap it in there and sandwich it in between the metal, and it should make it exactly what we need for the bolts to go through the flare. Alright, so I just finished cutting all the panels up and fitted the flares on, and oh man, do these things look good. So something I did a little different on this side than the other side is on this side I ended up cutting all the way down on both sides. Did that on the front and the rear, and it looks so much better, because if we compare it to this side where I didn't cut both of those, this is what it looks like on this side. As you can see, you just see all this and it just doesn't look good, so I'm gonna have to trim this up tomorrow on both the front and the back. But overall, I am so happy with how this is turning out. It's looking so good. Car is starting to take place, and it just looks so good. So I think I'm gonna call it a day, but I'll check back in tomorrow. So see you then. So today is day 2, and I've been going at it again on the car all morning, and I want to show you guys some updates and things I found so that when you guys are going at it, you can know what's up. So this is what I've been doing. So like I mentioned yesterday, I ended up cutting all the way down and through these pieces so that there's nothing that you can see in the flare. I got the wheel spacer on, and now I think it's time to, I'm going to throw the wheels on and check the fitment on them and make sure it's not hitting anything, and then other than that, we're pretty much done with the front for now, and then we're gonna move to the back and cut everything, and then we'll circle it around and sand everything up that we need to. But yeah, let's go ahead and check the fitment and see how it does. Okay, so now that I got the wheels on, I'm gonna go ahead and lower it, and then we're gonna test the turning radius to make sure we're good, not hitting anything. Holy smokes. Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing it on the ground with the wheels and tires and the flares on, and wow, that fits so good. Check that fitment out. So if you're curious on what rims and everything I'm running, so I got the 18x11 Cosmos Racing XT 206R rims, and then I paired that with a 275/35 R18 tire. This is the Nitto, let's see, the Nitto G2 is what this tire is, and paired that with a 15mm wheel spacer so it clears the brake, and wow, that fits so good. Check out the fitment right here. Still a little bit of poke, and it just fits perfect. And looking at it right now, it looks like it's gonna clear. So I had to do a little turning and make sure it fits, and wow, this is sick. Okay, so I just finished up with that test fitment as you guys saw, and it looks like it clears everything. There's a couple little tiny things that I need to just trim up, but nothing too big. So I'll just fix that up when I get to the point of sanding and filing. But for now it fits, and it's sick, and I'm stoked. But I'm gonna go ahead, I gotta cut a little more on the rear. So we're gonna move to the rears and finish that up. Okay, so I'm about to start cutting the rear quarter panels again, and as you saw before, we only went halfway on them, but it made it so that when I have the flare on, you can see this area still under the flare. So I'm gonna trim this up, just following that 5/8, and just gonna go straight to the corner on both sides, and then we're gonna go for a fitment, but it should be perfect doing it this way, so let's get to it. Okay, I just finished drilling up the last hole on this quarter panel for the Rev Nut, and this one is particularly hard if you're working on this 2011 STI. Let me show you why. So it's this one right next to the door. If you're looking at the door, it would be this top one right here. This one's hard because where there's multiple pieces of metal in here and they all meet up, but this last piece of metal tends to turn out a little bit, and so when you drill your hole, you have to be careful, because on the other side when I was drilling, it caught that other piece and it ripped it up and created a way too big of a hole right here. So now I gotta bondo that or fix that somehow. So what I ended up doing on this one was I just cut this piece and kind of just bent this back and cut into it just so that the Rev Nut fit flush, and then I can trim this up, because I'm gonna end up sealing all this up anyway, so it'll just be a little bit bigger of a gap right here, but that's better than sealing the actual body panel on the outside. So just a little tip if you guys are working on the same car to save you some time and a hassle. Okay guys, I got the wheels on the front and the rear on, and the car is on the ground right now, and oh boy, does this thing look so good. So I'm gonna show you in 3, 2, 1. Boom, baby, look at that. Thing fits so good. It looks absolutely amazing, and I can't believe it's all fitting how it's supposed to, because things like that never happen. So I'm super pumped on how this is looking. But as for the rear, I thought I needed wheel spacers on it, but I actually don't, because I have extended studs on the rear. So I might add just a little tiny one just to get the same fitment as the front, because it is inset just a little bit. So as far as trimming goes, I think we're done, and we've got everything how it needs to be. It all looks like it's gonna fit perfect. And I tested the fronts out and they were good to go. So the next 2 steps, last things we gotta do, is we gotta sand/grind all the metal in there so it's all smooth, so if the body ever does hit the tire, it's not gonna pop it. And lastly, we gotta, in the rear, there's 2 pieces of metal that we gotta put together and make it so that no water will ever get in there and rust the body. So other than that, that's the last 2 things we gotta do, and I'm gonna hit that tomorrow. I'm so pumped on how this thing is looking. It's a beast, to say the least. So we'll catch you tomorrow. Alright, so I believe it's day 4. I keep getting rained or snowed out, so sorry for the continuity issues, but as you guys saw, I did get everything ground up and sealed the metal up. So let me show you guys what I did. So I just ground everything up just so it's smooth and you can run your hand on it, so there's no sharp bits that'll ever hit the tire. And then as far as sealing goes, I sealed these two pieces of metal together so that no water will ever get in and rust the body. I used the DevCon metal and patch fill, and I got the charcoal gray, so I guess I need to learn how to read because I subconsciously thought it was black, but it's gray. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but if it is, I can always just paint over it. So that's that. Okay, I'm gonna throw the tires on and then we're gonna lower the car and do one final test fitment. Ah, see, here's the snow. Okay guys, just finished up with that test fitment and it all fits, and I am so stoked if you can't tell. This thing looks like a beast. Looks so good. So I think as far as this video goes, that's gonna wrap it all up. There's still some tweaking that I'll probably end up doing just to get everything perfect, but as far as installing the actual flares, that's the whole process, and I'm no expert at this, but I did what I could and it all works. So if you're going at it, I mean, take your time and do what you can, but yeah, nothing too crazy, pretty simple. So other than that, I think I'm gonna go grab some B-roll of the car and post that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And lastly, I want to know, what do you guys think? Should I paint the fenders, color match them, or should I leave them black? Because it looks so mean black, but color matching would also look really good. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should color match or just keep it black. So if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for watching this whole thing. This STI is awesome and I'm so stoked with where it's at. I got a couple other mods we're gonna do to it, but I also post other things, so if you're interested in kind of a mix of things, consider subscribing and following along for more. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace out.